Hi everybody, welcome to my first official video, Learn Along with Me, Episode 1. What we're going to focus on for the first video is the C and practice of the C and G major scales. So I'm going to be, so this video is just going to be on that, and throughout this series we're going to be we're gonna practice together on scales like we're doing now, and as well as chords, intervals, and any other musical technique and theory. We're gonna get more advanced as we go along, but for now, I feel like this is a good way to start simple and small. And again, this video is for everybody who is interested in learning on picking up an instrument or continuing to practice. And it can be for people of all ages, children, teenagers like me, and even adults and even older folks. I'm also hoping to be helpful to people with disabilities, such as autism, like myself, who are practicing themselves and who would like to maybe get a few tips from somebody who is the same as them. So let's get started. All right, so first, what you need to know is that when you first look at a piano or a keyboard, it can be pretty intimidating, but I'm here to stop that. So, basically what we're looking at here is just keys, straightforward keys. And there's not as much to it as it seems. So let me show you. Those are all the 12 notes on the piano. And what I just played there was something called a chromatic scale, where all 12 notes are played, in which I'll make a video going more in depth about chromatic scales later, but I just used that as an example to show you that it's actually a pretty straightforward setup. So let's get started. First off, the C major scale. Each scale has 8 notes. It goes from whatever note the scale is, which is C. So in this instance, the C scale goes from middle C to the C above that. And it goes from one octave C to the other octave C. So yeah, let's get started. And it's 8 notes. The scale consists of 8 notes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you the left hand, the right hand, and then eventually together, and we'll practice along together. So here goes. Now in the left hand, we're going to do the left hand first. The left hand goes pinky on the low C, ring finger on the D, middle E, pointer on F, thumb on G, and then we're going to do a little fancy trick here, which is something that always used to trip me up. A crossover with your middle finger to the A. All right? Now, that moves your hand to a new position, so that's leaves your pointer finger on B, left thumb on middle C. All right, so let me show you that up. Let's do it together. C, D, E, F, G, crossover, middle finger, A, pointer B, thumb middle C. Now, the scale goes back down after it goes up. And as you know, that old saying, what goes up must come down. So, to go back down, once you go from here up to the middle C, point your finger on B, middle finger on A, cross over with your thumb down to the G, F, E, D, C. Now, let's do it. Now let's do it. If you got an instrument, practice along with me. Let's do the whole run through slow. Okay. Let's just run through that. So that's the C major scale in the left hand. Now, with the right hand, it's basically the same gist. Except it's in a whole separate hand. So this time the thumb, your right thumb is on middle C, which is the middle C is basically the reference, what I like to call the reference point for the piano. It's the note that's like it's the C that's in the middle. That's in the middle of the piano. So thumb on middle C, point your finger on D, middle finger is on E, and then we do the crossover trick again. We cross over with our thumb this time to the F. That puts our hand in a whole other position. So point your finger on G, middle finger on A, ring finger on B, and then right pinky on the C, on the high C. That's above middle C. All right, so let's run through it. C, D, E, crossover with the thumb to F, pointer on G, middle on A, ring on B, and then pinky on C. Now, a little tip to help you remember, your fingers, when it comes to music, your fingers are numbered. So like, for example, thumb is, when it comes to the right hand, thumb is 1, pointer finger is 2, middle finger is 3, ring finger is 4, and the pinky is 5. But it's not the same with the left hand. So as you can see here, this time the thumb is 5, pointer is 4, middle finger is 3, ring finger is 2, and the pinky is 1. Now you'll see those number techniques if you take piano lessons, for example. You'll see those numbers. Your piano teacher or your music instructor will point them out to you. But I'm just using that as I just wanted to point that out to you in case you might not have gone over that yet. All right, so what's the tricky part, combining them together. So let's run through that very slow. And again, if you got an instrument, practice along with me. C, D, E, F. Only the thumb crosses over. Only the thumb on the right hand crosses over. G, now cross over to the A with the middle finger in your left hand. A, B, C, then back down. Cross over with your middle finger on the right hand down scale to the E. All right, one more time. And there you go. You've basically just played the whole C major scale slowly. Now, here it is with both hands in full speed. Right, and congratulations. You have officially gotten down the C major scale. And you can always rewatch this video if you need another run through on it. But now, let's go on to the G major scale. Again, if you got an instrument with you, then get to that instrument, practice along as I do it, and let's hop to it. Now the G major scale, I'm going to do the same thing with both hands. So it's basically the same thing. We got notes going up and down, then down, and crossing over along the way. So the pinky or the 5 finger in the left hand on G. 2, A. 3, B. 4, C. The 5 or the thumb on the D. Now we cross over to the E with our middle finger, then up to the F sharp, then thumb on the G. Now back down again. All right, now let's do the right hand. Again, same basic thing going on here. This time the thumb or the 1 finger in the right hand on G, pointer to A, middle 3, B, crossover with the thumb to the C, D, E, F sharp, G, then back down. Okie dokie. Now let's do both hands together. Again, we're going to want to run through this slowly just to ensure that you got it. So, G, again, it'll be helpful for you to first watch my hands, watch what they're doing, and then apply that to what you're doing so we can do it together. If you think you got it, that's good. Go on and watch the rest. And if you need a little more, just go back and then do it and just keep doing it slow a little more. Now, here it is at full speed. And that is officially the G major scale. Now, let's run through both scales together. Here we go. One more time. And there you go. We have just done the C and G major scales together. And again, if you already knew, this is just good for review. But if you didn't already know, I hope I taught you something today, and I will see you on the next Learn Along With Me video. Ciao, fellow musicians.